What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another re-ranking of the Assassin's Creed protagonist to go ahead and include Eivor from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So if you do enjoy it, please make sure to drop a like on it. Go ahead and let me know your opinions and your list down below in the comment section. Subscribe and turn on that post notification bell to see more content like that. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into the list. Coming in at last place at number 11 is going to be Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Because of the fact that we had those dialogue options, we really never got to feel their actual motive or ideas. Each mission lacked consistency because we were able to choose whatever outcome we wanted and basically make the character act and feel however we wanted, which a lot of people may have liked. In my opinion, I don't really enjoy that because I want to know how a character develops and watch that story unfold. And since you created your own story, it wasn't really consistent throughout the whole time. So that's why I have Cassandra coming in at last place. Coming in slightly higher than Cassandra is going to be Eivor at number 10. Now, the problem I have with Eivor is she really seems like she's a pawn while the kings are actually the ones making the moves. She's just really kind of in the setting. She's not really doing much. By the time that story really ends, I didn't actually feel like I accomplished anything. I honestly was kind of confused that it ended because of the fact that I really didn't do anything that I thought was worthwhile. I do think she had a little bit more personality and brought in personality than Cassandra, so that's why I personally rank her a little bit higher. But overall, I just think the character missed the mark in my personal opinion. Coming in at number 9 is going to be Shay Cormack from Assassin's Creed Rogue. Now, being the only Templar that is on the list, it does give him a little bit of insight to the actual conflict between Assassins and Templars, seeing that he does start the story as an Assassin and turns into a Templar. Now, although he was a Templar, he hesitated to kill the weak and even shows mercy at points, so I do feel like he had some qualities that kind of show that not every Templar is necessarily full bad and not every assassin is full good either. Now, with his former assassin life, it does kind of haunt him in some ways, and it really ends up giving us a flawed but compelling character, and that's why I have him coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Arnold Dorian from Assassin's Creed Unity. I actually think he started really strong with a really interesting backstory that really drawed me into the character at the start. He was a little bit cocky, but he was likable overall at the beginning of the game. But I feel like he kind of got stuck in his quest for revenge. And honestly, he lost a lot of the personality that he started with and the qualities that really made him likable in the beginning of the game. Now, I think he did get better by the time they got to the DLC, but this the overall character, I think, could have had more done throughout the whole story. Like I said, strong start, just not a great finish. Coming in at number 7 is going to be Evie Fry. Now, he's by far the most out there of pretty much any of the protagonists. If you do enjoy cocky, witty, over-the-top humor, then you probably did enjoy Jacob. If not, he probably pissed you off, to be completely honest. After not really wanting to do with the Creed at the beginning of the game, he really did come around to embrace it by the end. Honestly, he was a pretty good character. I do think his sister was a little bit better and should have been just the protagonist for the whole game. But that being said, I do like a little bit of his humor. I thought it was pretty enjoyable at times. It was a good switch up from what they had given us with a lot of the other assassin protagonists. So that's why I have him coming in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 on the list is going to be Evie Fry. Now, she's the more calm, cool, and collected of the twins in Assassin's Creed Syndicate for sure. Now, she spent a lot of her time searching for the Shroud of Eden, which didn't give her a lot of overall screen time in the game. We didn't get a ton of missions with her. She was personally my favorite to play with. Probably just overall throughout the series. Doesn't mean she's my favorite character, but she was really fun to play with. I liked her character design, her outfits, and everything like that, her weapons of choice. But I think overall, if she would have had more screen time, she really could be higher up on this list. But that's why she kind of sits in the middle because of the fact that she lacked a lot of the missions that a lot of these other characters got to go ahead and develop their character. Coming in at number 5 on the list is going to be Connor from Assassin's Creed 3. Now, I know this is probably the most controversial on the list because a lot of people do hate him, and I think that his hate is understandable, but I don't think it's well deserved in my personal opinion. I know that his personality didn't range as much as some of these other characters, but I do think it played to his advantage of what he truly was trying to be. He's absolutely just a brutal character, and he does care about the land around him, and he ended up being involved in a lot of the major events in the revolution. So I think that he actually shows his personality in that type of way rather than his dialogue and things like that. He even held a lot of convictions as well when it put him in conflict with some of his allies. So I do think he had a leg to stand on. It's just maybe not connected with a lot of the Assassin's Creed fan base. In my opinion, I did enjoy him and I did enjoy the game, so that's why I have him at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Altair from the original Assassin's Creed 1. He has a great story arc of humility and gaining wisdom. At the beginning, he really is a reckless character. He kills his targets with no remorse and doesn't really understand why he's doing a lot of the things he does. Once he finds out what it means to truly be a master assassin, and even having to end up kill his master who betrayed the assassins, I think it really helps him get a lot of that wisdom and understanding that he maybe lacked at the beginning of the game. Just a great character arc overall. Coming in at number 3 is going to be Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Now, he started off as a selfish pirate, really just looking for fame and fortune. Throughout his story, he learned how to be more selfless, which ended up obviously at the end of the game with him joining the Brotherhood. Just a great character arc and character development. Even though he was never an assassin for most of the story, he started learning some of the qualities that we look for in assassins and in protagonists. And I think that's why a lot of people connected to him, is although he didn't hold the title of assassin, he really was what it means to be an assassin. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Bayek from Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, personally, I think he's the best one since our number 1, which is obviously going to be Ezio. Now, I think Bayek definitely needs a sequel. I think there's a lot more they could have done with him, and it kind of sucks that they're doing these one-out characters instead of trying to build, maybe 2 or 3 titles throughout one character. Because you really could get more out of it, and I think with 3 games, he might even be able to rival Ezio. He has a great story arc as well, and has a reason for what he does and why he does them. He's very connected to the world that he's in, and he also lets that play into his story. It's not just the backdrop. He also has a very wide range of emotions that is actually matching what it is that he's doing, and portrayed correctly in my personal opinion. And obviously, just being a creator of the Hidden Ones just gave him a little bit extra juice to go ahead and help out with his character development and his story arc. Coming in at number 1 is obviously going to be Ezio from Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. It's really hard for anybody to rival him as long as they're doing these single games, like I said, and not building characters throughout at least 2 to 3 games. He just has such a great, charming personality, but he also has a lot of hardships that he goes through that does shape his character, and it really shapes the development of his character through all 3 games. It's not like the first game he develops and then he's the same character throughout. In all 3 games, he learns a little bit more about himself, and it does change him throughout, from joining the Brotherhood to being a mentor to other assassins, and then how wise he is through Revelations. It's just a great character arc overall. I'm not sure we'll ever get a character like him. Like I said, as long as we're getting solo games, I don't see how we could. Alright, so that is going to be it for the list. Like I said in the beginning, make sure to go ahead and leave your list down below in the comments. Even though we may have different opinions on some of the characters, let's go ahead and try to make sure that we keep it pretty civil and just as discussions and not hateful. With that being said, if you did enjoy it, drop a like on this video. Let me know any other videos that you would like me to rank within the Assassin's Creed franchise as well, whether it be like outfits, places, time periods, whatever the case may be. With that being said, make sure to drop a sub, turn on that post notification bell, and as always, I will see you next time.